What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 52 of Buckets of Duckets. I am your host, Chase Myers, in Seattle, Washington. Every week, I talk to my best friend and fellow comedian down there in Louisiana, the one, Josh Watts.
Good evening, shitheads. It's your boy, the Mohawk Meat Castle, and host of tonight's show, Matt Lauer. I am here tonight to bring you a brand new episode of Where Are They Now? Sit back, enjoy, call a friend, smash that like button, and subscribe.
Cool. You really want to be Matt Lauer?
You know what?
Matt Lauer's not a good one.
No, dude, I had a whole different name in my head until it just came out Matt Lauer, and then I was like, well, I guess I'm Matt Lauer now.
Yeah.
Fuck.
You remember?
Which probably what Matt Lauer said, too. Matt Lauer probably, well, fuck, I'm Matt Lauer now.
Fuck, I guess I'm goddamn Matt Lauer. I guess I have a button on my desk that locks the door if an intern comes in here. I guess I'm Matt Lauer. Do you know that? Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, because he got fired from the... First off, it's the Today
Matt
Show.
Matt Lauer is my hero, so... What is...
What
are you about to say to me that's going to change? That's a Matt Lauer action figure right there. So what are you about to tell me?
Who, buddy? I'm going to need you to sit down.
Nah, man, he went all hardcore on Tom Cruise about Scientology. That's what I remember.
Yeah, well, also, he's very inappropriate around the ladies, and he lost his job because of it, and the creepiest detail of it was that he literally had a button on his desk that would shut the door and lock it when people would come in.
How bad is that when you have a button that you have a button on your desk that locks the door and keeps the intern trapped inside? And Donald Trump just has a button that brings him Diet Coke. And look at how evil we think Donald Trump is. And his button just brings him Diet Coke. It doesn't lock women into their fate.
Bro, I mean, the person, like,
can we take the top again? I don't want to be Matt Lauer.
No,
can I do Matt
You
Damon?
Matt Lauer. Nah, you white, you Matt Lauer, okay? That's... A role models reference nobody's gonna remember.
Boom.
Can you imagine?
That was a funny movie.
That was a great movie. I just can't imagine being like asking for that. Like the desk didn't come that way. You had to like in your mind go, you know what I need?
And then you had to explain it to
somebody. And then they had to go, okay. They had to be like, yeah,
they probably had to do like price checks, like consultations where like he got different estimates. Where
they called up Donald Trump's Diet Coke guy and asked him how much his cost, and he was like, "Yeah, but what if it's a little more sexual harassment-y? What if it's that? Is there like an extra charge for extra creepy or?"
So you wanted to do what and bring Diet Coke? No. Forget the Diet Coke part. All right.
Diet Coke has nothing to do with this.
all this button brings is PTSD. That's all I want this button to bring.
I just want to ruin a bright future. That's all I want. I just want to assert my dominance and act like I run shit. That's what I want. Yeah, man, that happened. That happened during the pandemic, like during the lockdown.
Let me go on the record as fuck you, Matt Lauer.
Yeah. How about that?
That was during the pandemic?
Fuck you. I'm Piers Morgan now. How about that? Piers Morgan never did anything wrong.
Piers Morgan's great, right? What did he ever do? Right? You remember that guy that wore the bow ties on TV? What was his name? Tucker Carlson? I'll be Tucker Carlson.
I'm Tucker Carlson, a true American hero. And you're watching Buckets of Duckets.
What's that little short guy with the giant shoulders? Ben Shapiro? Boom! Huh?
Look at you.
Come on, I brought it because of Ben Shapiro. Do you know who I'm talking about?
I do know.
Shapiro.
I do know.
But I said trap hero.
He's the one that sings WAP, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah, he was the one that
did the dramatic reading of WAP.
That's the best piece of video content he's ever put out. Ever.
I fucking hope everybody understands all the shit we're talking about right now, because I feel like these are things people know, but they might be. You forgot Matt Lauer was
probably
a creep,
not.
So
yeah, Who knows?
All right,
hey, you guys remember Tiger King? So let's get into that.
Let's get into that, man. Why won't Trump pardon that man? You know what I'm saying? If there's ever a man worthy of pardon, it was the one feeding people leftover Walmart meat. That is who we need back out there. I want to pet a tiger. All right.
Not that hard.
Guys, this is the show. This is what we fucking do. If you don't understand that by now, I'm sorry. Podcast listeners, go ahead, subscribe, leave a comment, leave a review. If you're an Apple Podcast listener, guess what? We got another 5-star. Put your finger down, Josh. Got a 5-star. Don't worry.
Hey.
Josh is ready. Josh is about to come through this Zoom screen and whoop all your asses. I saw it on his face. I had to call the dogs off for you, okay? So just note, a 5-star review every week keeps Josh off your ass, okay? So I appreciate you guys doing that. We got another one this week. That's 4 out of 5 weeks. You guys are fucking killing it. But here's the thing. The person that this is a situation where we know the person that left this review.
Read it.
I will absolutely read it. I have it right here. So 5 stars, Apple Podcasts.
Start out
this
strong.
Podcast will get your wife pregnant. That is that's the head, and it's true. We've
100%.
got many a married women pregnant. It has happened. So many dudes want to kick our ass, but they can't. They just can't.
They can't.
And
how you gonna fight a mountain? You can't fight a mountain and win.
And it's frustrating for them because they want to defend their woman's honor, but it turns out that there's nothing that they can do.
Turns out the greatest honor of their woman's life was getting pregnant with a Buckets of Ducket baby. You have a BOD baby, you're made.
We're just giving out CEOs. That's what we're doing, okay? You come in contact with us, your baby's gonna be somebody. All right, and then he wrote, the potency of these two comedians should not be trifled with. Weird way of phrasing it. I download iTunes, which is not a thing. Just a 5-star this podcast. Woo! Apple Podcast is now what it's called. This was left by a friend of ours. Morgan is always right. And nice try, Morgan. You still a shit bucket. You know that. You know that.
You knew goddamn good and well when we saw it was your name on there. You weren't getting shit for that. I don't even want the credit. I don't even want the stars for that. I'm going to call Steve Jobs as soon as this podcast is over and tell him to erase that. I don't need that cheap pandering bullshit from you. Morgan is always right. Walking around. His life was made the day he walked around behind you in an episode of this podcast. Check the archives. You'll see it's called the episode Morgan Interrupts Every Goddamn Thing We Do. Check it out. I think it's episode 27. Morgan, right?
Yeah.
That was the brightest day of your life was when you got to stand in our shade. Jesus Christ. You know you trying to hop on here. Get out of here. No.
YouTube people, what's up? Make sure you subscribe, tell a friend, like, leave a comment, the whole thing.
And look,
Morgan, you know you cool, but we gotta give you shit.
Tell a friend.
Get a friend, and then tell them. Okay, you shit buckets. How about you go out there and make a friend? Leave your house. Okay, bring this podcast with you. And share it with somebody, and you will have instant friendship, okay?
That'd be great.
Look at the friendship me and Josh have. How could you show somebody our friendship and not immediately have friendship with somebody new, okay?
Oh, yeah.
And then the added bonus, if that person is a married woman, they will now be pregnant. So you're bringing so many joys to their life. They get a new friend, they get a new baby, a brighter future.
Birthing CEOs.
I can't sell it any better than that. I just can't.
Wet dicks, hard pussies, birthing CSOs. That's what happens when you listen to this podcast. I said CFOs. Sometimes it can't always be a CEO. I mean, nature just doesn't work like that. Every once in a while you can get a CFO or a COO. It's just the way it goes. All right. Everybody misfires once or twice.
Yeah, but our misfire still hit pretty high, so that works out. Josh, what's up with you, man?
Chase, do you know the phrase, you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain? Chase, I think I'll become the villain.
That seems impossible.
As unlikely as it seems, Chase.
What are you telling me right now?
Let me explain the story. I'm going to lay it out to you from the beginning. try to be unbiased about it and see how you feel about it.
I just can't be because I refuse to believe that you did something that
it's
can
hard,
make you...
right?
All right, man. I'm ready. What you got?
So I pulled up at the YMCA, which is the gym I go to. If you don't know, the YMCA stands for Young Men's Christians Association. I mentored like 5 young Christians on my way into the weights. I stopped my walk-in and mentored like 5 youths and steered them onto the path of golden CFO-ness. I pulled into the YMCA one day, and I pulled into a handicap spot.
It's a place you could go.
Because I have handicap plates. I pay to go there. But I tell you what, even if I didn't, who gonna stop me? Huh? All right, hold on. I don't want to start sounding like a villain before I even tell the story. I pull into the handicap spot at the YMCA because I am a handicapped disabled veteran as decided by the United States government. But people like to challenge me about my handicap parking status. They'll either say something to me or they like to walk around and look at my plate and then see. Because when I get out and this Mohawk meat castle gets out of a car, there's no way that this is disabled. You know what I mean? So their brain can't wrap around it. But Chase, I told myself the next time somebody says something to me about my handicap, instead of just being like, yeah, well, or making a joke about it, I'm going to challenge them. And I told myself for the podcast, I was going to say, what are you going to do about it?
Okay, that's the challenge. All right.
But what are you gonna do about it? Yeah, I'm right there. What are you gonna do about it? No, not go tell them or call anybody. What are you gonna do about it? And I just told myself that's how I'm gonna be super aggressive the next time somebody says something to me. I did not anticipate the next time something was said to me, it would be by a 107-year-old walking dead man. And that's what happened. At the YMCA, in the mornings, they do like old people classes. I don't even know. It's just a lot of the old people are in the gym and they
they teach them how to be old. And
just this is what you do. This is all you're allowed to do. Don't do nothing else. You sit over there and don't make people look at you. You make people sad. So don't stand right in their eyesight.
Okay.
But this guy, I watched him look at my license plate and see me pull up. And then he walked up and he said, you know, some people actually need those handicap spots. Maybe you shouldn't park there. And
you said, what the fuck are you going to do about it?
Chase, I'm a man of my word. I turned around and I took my glasses off and I said, what are you going to do about it?
Okay. And interesting.
Already too aggressive. Already. There was no reason for that. I had like 3 times the regular dose of pre-workout coursing through my veins. I'm fucking ready to pounce, dude. I am a
I'll murder this old man
in a cage, ready to go. His old skin will be like wet newspaper. I will fucking rip it apart. And I said, yeah, well, what are you going to do about it? Because I am handicapped. The license plate, you know, so there isn't levels to it. I can park wherever the fuck I want. And then he said, well, I said, well, you weren't minding your fucking business is what you should do, which is what you should do. All right? And then I stared at him until he walked away. Instead of saying it and walking away, I stared at him until he walked away. It was a bit aggressive. But fuck you. Fuck you.
You know what?
Fuck
Point
you.
received.
So we're in the couple days pass. I see this old crusty fuck every day in the gym. We never interact. We never cross paths. Cause he learned his gut. The other day, I'm walking over to the row machine, and every machine in the gym has a cup holder and a little hook to put a towel on or something under it. I walk over to the machine. I'm standing in front of it. I put my water bottle in it. I take the towel from around my neck and hang it on the hook. And that old motherfucker walks right in front of me and sits down on the machine and starts using it.
Okay. I like this old man. I like this old man so far. I'm on your side, but I like that. I like that comeback.
I don't think he did it on. I don't think he actually did it on purpose. I don't think he was paying any fucking attention. But I said I've already came at this old man really hard. I'm not gonna say shit to him just because a row machine is like it's a full like you're rowing, you're pulling back, and this old fuck sits down. He just goes. and then leaves.
Like real short,
like,
little short
yeah,
rows.
he does like, oh yeah, I'm sorry, people are listening. He does little pussy-ass short rows that old crusty fucks that shouldn't be in the gym do. He does about 20% range of motion, and he should keep his broken old ass at home and not dusting up the machines I'm trying to fucking use.
That's right, we're ageist. That's right.
I don't give a fuck. So he sets that, and I know that he's only going to do like, he's going to just sit in front of it and just kind of shake the handles.
He's going to break his back, yeah.
He's going to shake the handles for like 30 seconds and then move on. I've watched him wander around to whatever machine looks interesting to him at what time. So I didn't say anything about it. Just go ahead. He'll be done in 30 seconds. So I just stood there and waited. Didn't realize that I'm standing like right behind him. Like this.
Like right on top of him.
Just fucking breathing in his ear. Without realizing it. And this old fuck gets up and just walks away with the sweat dripping all over the seat and the chest press that you put your chest against to do the row, soaking wet. There literally, between every machine, are buckets of Clorox wipes. I don't care who you are, wipe down the goddamn equipment. Just wipe it down. You sweat all over it, wipe it down. It's fucking disgusting. So I said I'm not going to say anything because I already bullied this old man the other day, like, too aggressively. So I'm just going to let him jump in front of me on this row, even though it was disrespectful as fuck. And I should kill his whole family. I should beat his entire family to death with that machine that he just cut in front of me to use. But I won't. I'll give him a pass today. But then he got up and didn't wipe the equipment. And
he already got his one pass. You don't get a second pass.
I have never not had headphones on in the YMCA. I'm listening to gospel hymns as I go in there. And I said, as he started to walk away without wiping the machine, just leaving his old geriatric fucking sweat. First, I know you need that moisture. Your dusty old ass can't afford to lose that much water right here on this machine. You better get back over here and get it. So he gets up to walk away, and I could not help myself. And I said, hey, you're not going to wipe it down? And I set it at a perfectly reasonable volume to me because I have headphones on that are full volume. The YMCA does not play any music. The inside of the gym is silent. Except for me bullying some old man in the gym. And the
took his parking spot, and now you're yelling at him about the machine.
And the worst part was he didn't hear me the first time, so I had to say it again. And I've already come so aggressive that I can't not be aggressive the second time. So he goes, what? And I said, you jumped in front of me on the machine, and then you didn't wipe it down. You could at least wipe it down when you're done with it. And he stared at me for a good second, and I saw his old ass weighing it out. I saw him, and I kind of respected it, where he was looking at me. He's like, all right. And then he decided to go wipe the machine down. He gets his wipes, and he wipes it down. I go about my business. Later in the day, once I calm down, I harness my chi. I'm like, you know what? You came at that old man really hard. I should not fuck with him anymore. I'll just leave him alone. I'm not gonna apologize. I'll just leave him alone.
And then you walked outside, and he was slashing your tires.
He's kissing my wife.
Having dinner at your table.
He's eating sandwich in my house. My son's sitting on his lap. So, but all right. So I'm not gonna mess with this old man anymore. I'm just gonna let it go. I've already come at him too hard. I'll just leave it alone. And then, there's this kid in the gym working out, and he's like a high school kid, I guess. And he's going for a machine, and that old man jumps in front of him again. Jumps in front of this dude in the machine. And I tapped on him and said, hey, you gotta quit jumping in front of people when they're in. You saw that kid was waiting on the machine. You need to get up. He was using it, and you saw that when you jumped in front of him.
Wait, are you in your head? Are you going, stop? What am I doing right now? Or okay, so.
Oh, no. I'm like, you need to get the fuck up, man. That kid was there. You saw that when you jumped in front of him. Because he looked at him and then jumped in front of him. And I said, you just knew he wouldn't say anything, or you didn't think he, like, I'm way too aggressive. And then that kid picked up his bag and went somewhere else. Because he was done. That's why he got up from the machine. He was done. Chase, that old man just stared at me. Other people looked at me. And look, for real, I went, fuck you. And then walked away.
You know what? Fuck you. Take off running. You just take off.
I just ran out like on Friday. I just ran out my arm hanging behind me.
You're going to cry in the car.
Bruh.
You're going to cry in that handicapped car.
There was a minute there where I was like, oh, you're the bad guy now. You just became the bad guy, dude. Your whole life you fought for truth, justice, the American way. And now here you are, about to beat the shit out of some old man for using a piece of gym equipment after somebody else was done with it. But fuck that old man. I don't care. Fuck
him.
His
I'm
New
still on
Balance,
your side.
his New Balances are too white. His fucking shorts are too short. His old ass is too sweaty to not wipe the equipment down. Fuck him. Fuck him. Fuck him.
Excellent point. Could not have said it better.
But I tell you what, until I yelled at that dude, I did not realize that the YMCA does not play any music at all. Like, I yelled at him and then closed my headphones and it's dead silent there, and I was like, oh.
Oh, see, so they actually were playing music, and then you yelled and the record scratched.
Hey, I think that old guy with the mohawk's yelling at that other old man.
This is the most exciting thing that happened at the YMCA today. Let's take this in. Man's just on his way to a swim class, getting yelled at. I'm a fucking rock star, bro.
Yeah, what happened? Did you beat up old man too?
I beat up an old man, then dragged him up on stage, and I said, "Tell the crowd what you did. Tell them what you did." I just sat there and watched him. Yeah, it was great. It was that's how I handle my interactions with old people. No, man, I'm a theater act, bro. That's what it is. I do theaters. If you
sent me that fucking picture.
Bro, I performed. I mean, that was just Thursday. This is where I performed at last night. Let me send you another picture. Just cause,
where were you? What city were you in?
So the first night I was in Olympia, which is the capital of Washington.
Never heard of it.
It's kind of like it's kind of like how Baton Rouge is the capital of Louisiana. Instead of New Orleans. Yeah, dude. So a lot of these places are just opening up for the first time in over a year. And they keep asking me to be part of their shows. Like, they just keep going like, hey, you know who would make this go well? Chase fucking Myers. And, yeah, I've been performing just way over my head lately. I've literally 3 of my last 4 shows have been at fancy shit fucking theaters. Yeah, I'm getting all my cursing out now because I couldn't do it there.
Good, you can't do it there.
So, yeah. But, yeah, dude, like, I performed in Olympia. That was that first show I sent you. It had 3 upper decks. It had 3 levels. And the
now,
reason
when you say upper deck, to some uncultured people such as myself, an upper deck is when you shit in the top tank of a toilet or a commode, as some might.
It had 3 of those. Yes, it had 3. Like, when you go, that's how fancy their bathrooms are, is that they have, like, 3 seats on top of the toilet seat. And so
three people could be shitting in a tree formation down.
Yes.
Wow.
It's the most efficient thing. Yeah. And so I sent you that picture, so you have that. And so that's what.
That's beautiful.
I cried, dude. I cried. I sat
Capitalism, man. Goddamn.
And, man, I just didn't know how emotional it was. I called that comic that shit his pants before the show that I had a few months ago. I was like, bro, you're never going to believe this. Dude, this is paradise for you, man. This is
where you should be.
This is where you should be. Come with, I'll put in a word for you, dude. Come with me. I will show you the land of 3 triple deckers, bro. I will show you. So this was the Best of the Comedy Underground, which is a comedy club in Seattle that is still not reopened. But the booker of the owner of that club still wants to make money, so he slapped his name all over these shows and called them the Best of the Comedy Underground, even though I didn't see his crazy ass the whole time. So the man that owns Comedy Underground, his name is John Fox. And he has he's owned the fucking club for 40 years. He's just just classic, like, coked out, still kind of stuck in the 80s type dude. You get your check a month later. The best time to email him is the best time to email him is 1:30 in the morning, because, like, he's up, like, yacked out of his mind, like, and he fucking loves me, so he books me on all kind of stuff. And
I've never met a cokehead that didn't love you, to be honest with you.
It's not true, man. They see my heart. That's what it is. That's whenever when you snort coke, you can see how people really are, and they see how genuine I am. And so yeah. And he was like, also, I bet this man would love to shit with 4 other people. I bet this is something he would like to do. So yeah, I'm doing these shows. I'm working with this guy Ellis Rodriguez, who is he won the San Francisco comedy competition a couple years ago, which John Fox also runs. And it's just me and him. And dude, we just fucking kill. Oh, and Robert Pitty hosted, who's another local guy in Seattle. And Pitty's got a funny story, because he actually managed the Comedy Underground. So John Fox owns it, but you'll never see him. It took. I mean, I was at that club twice a week for 6 or 7 months before I ever ran into him, and so Pitty would run it. Yeah, Pitty would run it, and they do this thing where John Fox doesn't want to hire like a real professional to run the club, but he wants to give a comic $50 a night to run the club. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like the level of what he's. And so because of that, the club has had, I mean, in the 4 or 5 years that I've been here, it's had 15 different managers, right? Pitty's one of the better ones, and because he actually is like kind of better. He's kind of a better one for sure. I would never say anything nice about Pitty. He knows that, and so. He does a acceptable job of it, and so part of, because it's only like $50 a night or whatever, part of him being able to survive and eat food and live is they offered him to live above the Comedy Underground in like what used to be like apartments, but now they're just kind of like abandoned, and one of them is kind of put together, right? And so last I knew, Pitty was living there, right? And then the pandemic happened, and then I was like, is Pitty still stuck in the attic of the Comedy Underground? Like, is that what's going on? Like, has he just been living up there? And so I asked him about it, and then he gave me this whole story about how somebody told on him because he was living up there, and that because it doesn't have like any windows, it's not actually like made. Like, people shouldn't live there is what it's like, the Wichita condo, but that was what it was. So he got kicked out. So he got kicked out of the murder house in the middle of the pandemic.
Who the fuck would tell on you for that?
I think somebody they fired in the club.
Some piece of shit.
Yeah, somebody they fired and they couldn't keep their mouth shut. They had to take everybody down with them. And
ass motherfucker.
Yeah, man, but I've been doing, like, I've had like spotlights on me every night, like whole crews have been running my shows, dude. I'm so spoiled. Like, remember last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was the last time that I was performing at a fancy ass, like, they were writing my initials on top of my water bottles and stuff like that, and like, it's just I need a loud ballroom with the TVs on, because I'm about to be so insufferable to talk to. Because I've just been pampered like crazy. And
come down here, we'll do Mango's Daiquiris again. Come down here.
Thanks. I need to, dude. I need to do a Mango's tour where
the whole crowd facing the other way.
I need a crowd not looking at me. I need a crowd that's not there for comedy. I need
that
to happen.
Happened to them. Happened at them. That's what they think. It happened at them.
But yeah, dude, I don't know. It feels so weird because I'm definitely not as sharp as I was before the pandemic, and so it feels so weird that I'm getting all these fancy shit gigs while I'm still feel like I'm figuring it out. Like, I don't feel like I'm fully in the zone. I have my moments, you know, like whenever I was on tour for those 2 weeks back to back in OKC and Little Rock, I was hitting pretty hard then, but then I came back and went back to work and you know, had like a week in between shows and stuff. It wasn't like every night. Yeah, it wasn't that. I was just being, you know, just salt of the earth, you know, just one of the people. And
staying humble.
Just trying to stay humble. But the devil's after me, bro. And I like it. I like what he's selling. He's selling these big ass theaters I've been performing in. But
buy it then, dude. Give him your soul. It sounds like a good deal.
What am I even doing with it? What am I even doing with my soul right now? It's not like I'm not the one out there, talking to young Christian men and trying to get them to go to the YMCA. That's me. Like I'm not. That's you. Me. That's what you do. Yeah. You're using your soul.
I'm out there giving my soul back to the community, putting it back into the world, trying to bring peace and justice and vengeance and righteousness.
But yeah, I did one in Olympia. The next night, last night was in Longview, Washington, which is somewhere I'd never been before. But yeah, so the other part, I guess I need to let this out. It's not that I'm selling out these huge theaters. It's that these huge theaters are actually good for social distancing. So they could spread people out better in there. So that has a little bit to do with why these big venues are calling me, because it's not like they're selling out these 1,000-seat places. They're selling 200 seats of the 1,000. And but still, I'm telling everybody I sold out all these theaters. I don't give a fuck.
I'll back your story up all fucking day. I dare somebody to say you haven't.
They won't.
I fucking dare you.
That's the thing. They won't. They know they won't. But yeah, man, I'm a rock star. I'm out here doing theaters now, bro. Just straight theater act.
God damn, dude, I'm ready to.
That's what I do.
I'm ready to do some comedy, but we got daiquiri bars down here where people are surprised it happened at them. So I don't know if I'll be in a theater anytime soon, unless it's to see Batman or something. I
saw Lafayette. I mean, they got a great summer series going. It looks like, even though it's underwater right now. I saw it when it drizzled, and now all of Louisiana's underwater. Is that what happened?
Yeah, it's gone again. They washed those. It's gone. The state's gone. I'm in Mississippi. I live in Mississippi now. The state's gone.
Oh.
It just washed away.
I like how you brought the room with you. You just packed up.
Yeah. Well, this is what I floated in on. Actually,
I got you.
The set to Buckets of Duckets is what I floated in on.
So you landed in Mississippi. I understand.
Yeah, it was
discovered Mississippi.
Have you ever seen The Wizard of Oz? You know how the tornado just... Wait, Twister? I'm the cow in Twister.
Oh, okay. Now I understand.
I've been watching.
I saw they were having they're having a lot of big names come through, including Mr. Carlos Mencia.
Nah, dude, I'm not doing shit with Lafayette anymore. They bringing in Carlos Mencia. I'm out. I'm not doing it anymore. They were gonna let me open for Todd Berry, and then they changed their mind because he's bringing an opener. That's the third straw. It's technically two. Third straw. I'm done.
I'm so big.
Done. That's why
that second straw was so big. It was like 3. I saw your whole.
I'm closing off my heart right now. To Lafayette.
Your whole body language changed.
You're done.
Yeah, cokeheads wouldn't fuck with you right now.
You might have weirdos that wear Batman suits to open mics, but you're not gonna have Josh Watson. No, I didn't mean. I fucking love Lafayette. Yeah, they always, every summer they have a lot of those shows come through. I'm looking forward to getting on some of them. When they have like the Worst Beer Garden. They do. Is it Club 337, which is in the hotel, which is where all the bigger names go.
The Doubletree.
The Doubletree in the hotel. I can't tell you which hotel, but there are 2 trees involved. You ever heard that joke?
I have heard that joke.
Have you experienced the? Is it different? So down here, you don't have to wear a mask if you're vaccinated anymore.
Right.
But how do you know if people are vaccinated or not?
Right.
I
was wondering that.
Yeah, I've just still been wearing my mask for the most part, because I would be more mad if somebody asked me to prove I was vaccinated than I would be if somebody told me to put on a mask. But then down here, nobody's challenging. Excuse me, America.
Well, down there, it's like the opposite. Up here, people shame people not wearing masks, and there it goes the other way. Like people look at you weird when you're wearing one.
Yeah, or they'll yeah, fuck them. But I'm still wearing my mask around. But I've been watching this show called 60 Days In. Have you heard about it? Have you ever heard of it? Have you heard about this? You seen this?
Heard about this? You seen this?
CNN is doing a documentary on the late night story. The story of late
night.
Oh,
really?
Yeah, it'll be on Hulu or whatever CNN streams on when it's done. But I didn't know if you knew that or not. Because you got
no, I don't. I'm gonna watch. Yeah, I'm gonna watch the hell out of that.
I can't get enough of the Letterman,
the Late Night Wars,
the Conan. Yeah, all of that shit is just fucking fascinating. 6 days in. So it's a TV show. They take a prison and they send like 7 or 8 people in undercover to find whatever's in the jail, and it's a reality show that follows them around, and they're locked in.
Find whatever's in the jail. It's like a scavenger hunt type thing, or
no, like if there's corruption or like how they're getting drugs in. They're supposed to be undercover to find information on how to make the jail better, supposedly. Okay. Right. So they just take random people and put them like the first season. This woman was like, "I'm a stay-at-home mom of 2, and I think the prisoners have it too easy." And you're like, "Oh, they're gonna eat you alive when you
get in there, Cheryl. Let's do this."
Her name was Barbara. Her name was fucking Barbara. I was like,
I was pretty close.
She's fucking dead. And so watching that show has turned into I can't stop. I watch it. If I'm watching it on the computer and I get up to leave the room, I downloaded the fucking Discovery Plus app on my phone so that I don't ever have to not be watching these motherfuckers in prison. I just want to see all of it, dude. Every bit of it. I can't get enough of it. And it's starting to affect my life. I think that's why I keep challenging that old man. Now I'm just staring at motherfuckers in their face. I come over. I just took somebody's lunch today at the mall. I just took somebody's fucking lunch. They walked from Raising Cane's with a tray, and I took it. And I said, "This is my tray." And then I just sat down and ate it. I made them sit down and watch me, too. I said, "You sit right there."
Don't you ever think about getting Raising Cane's without paying me first, okay?
So, this show it's fucking...
If you get Raising Cane's, we get Raising Cane's.
So, the show is great, but but they can drop out at any time.
Oh, okay. I was wondering if Barbara was like wearing a do-rag now and like sharpening like a fork.
I don't want to spoil it for you. Barbara made it like the whole time. Like she blended in perfectly. And she was the one who was like, "My husband's in the military." Anybody that describes himself as a military wife, tell you any. I don't even. Anybody that listens to this podcast has ever been in the military, if somebody describes himself as a military wife, you know exactly who I'm talking about. Like, that is the upper echelon of the Karen scale of horrible women.
The final boss.
Yeah, that is the final boss, because you're not married to the military. You have a husband who's in the military, but the first thing that describes you as your husband's job, that says a lot about your personality. If the main factor, anyway. So I was like, "Oh, she's gonna be fucking terrible," and she fucking blended in and did great. But then, dude, it just becomes, who's dropping out next? Oh, he ain't gonna make it. Look, he's soft. And I heard a guy call a CO old noodle ass softy, and he told him, "You soft as cotton." And I can't stop trying to fit noodle ass softy into. I'm gonna call that old man noodle ass softy Monday at the gym.
There's a basketball player, Jimmy Butler, right? He plays for the Heat, and a couple years ago, he played for Minnesota, right? Mm-hmm. And he got them in the playoffs. They hadn't been in the playoffs in a long time. Jimmy Butler, his nickname's Jimmy Buckets. He's a tough, like, hard-nosed dude. He's a fucking winner, right? And he hated his fucking teammates. He had this dude, Karl Anthony Towns, on the team, and Andrew Wiggins, and he saw them as being soft, right?
Yeah, he did.
And so the next year, so he gets traded to Minnesota the season before, in the middle of the season. He gets them to the playoffs, and then the next year, he's like, I was traded here. I didn't pick to be here. I want the fuck out of here, right? And so he doesn't.
It's like, so that's some Kenny Powers shit. Atlanta, you're fucking out.
So he doesn't show up to training camp for a while, and it's this whole like, what's going on with Jimmy Butler? He doesn't show up, and he's saying he doesn't want to play for the team, the whole thing. And then he does show up one day, and he shows up like fucking ready to go. He busts in the middle of practice, and he goes, "All y'all fucking need me." This is for real. This is like reporters, everybody, all y'all fucking need me. And then he took all the bench players. He took like the third string players, and he said, I want those 4 bums on my team, and I'm going to play the rest of the starters. And then he beat the starters with all these bums and was yelling at the coach about, you better fucking trade me because you guys need, and like the whole thing, just doing the whole thing. Immediately after the practice, he had an interview with ESPN with Rachel Nichols scheduled. So this was his plan for the day. This is how he was going to get out of Minnesota. He was going to go in, wreck the fucking practice. I'm going to take these bums and fucking dunk on you with them. And then he goes to Rachel Nichols, and she's like, Jimmy, what's going on? He's like, I just want to win. I want out of here, blah, blah, blah. So they trade him.
God damn.
He goes to Philly. They get to the playoffs, and now he's finally out of his contract, and then he decides to sign with Miami. He goes play for Miami last year, gets them all the way to the NBA Finals, loses to LeBron, right? So after all that shit talking, he backed it up because then he finally gets to a good team, and he goes to the NBA Finals. They didn't win, but they weren't projected to win. They were the underdog anyway, you know? Okay, so fast forward. One of the dudes that was on that Minnesota team, Karl Anthony Towns, that Jimmy doesn't like, this is gonna get a little. So he lost a lot of people in his family to COVID. Like his mother, a couple people passed away. He got in a really bad car wreck. He had like injuries. It took him like most of the season to get back on the court playing. A couple weeks ago, they played Jimmy Butler, and he don't give a fuck about none of that. And they caught him on mic. Like, you could hear him when you watch the game telling Karl Anthony Towns, who just lost his whole family and fought to get back on, you softer than baby shit, motherfucker. It was just...
God damn.
Called this man soft as baby shit. Like 2 seasons. It's been 2 years since whatever beef they had.
Good.
When he played for him.
Hold that grudge forever.
The world has changed.
Nope. The hate in his heart didn't.
And Jimmy Buckets he's still giving you buckets. So yeah, soft as baby shit.
I fucking love that. I fucking love that. This show has made me. I'm so much more confrontational now. That story you just told me is making me. I'm feeling amped now.
Yeah.
But it's become So this show has become a like who is gonna leave first game for me.
Right.
And
it's almost like Survivor, but it's prison.
Literally.
It's naked and afraid in prison.
In prison. And the third season. I think it was the third season or maybe the fourth season.
I've never even heard of this show. I didn't realize it was that many seasons.
Oh, okay. It's fucking great. I've watched every intervention and Locked Up there ever was, and too much. And I was going on A&E to flip through to see if there was one of those I haven't watched enough yet. And I found this
Maybe they did a reunion special or something.
And I watched this. Maybe somebody fell off the wagon and they got a show about it. And then I watched this. I watched the first episode and I'm fucking hooked. And the third or fourth season, I've been waiting. From the moment I watched it, I've been waiting for this contestant to be on it. And I didn't know when he was. It turns out it was the third or fourth season. And dude, when I saw his fucking face, I got so excited. All right. This dude is like 4'6" and like 88 pounds.
Yeah.
A grown man. And his name is Gerson. And he has a voice that talks like this.
Gerson,
dude.
No.
The second you apply to go into prison,
fights like Gerson. No one. I'm not it.
The second you apply to go into prison, they should look at it and go, "Your name is Gerson. I don't think you're right for this program. You should just go do something that you won't get, that you'll survive."
You better put some bass in your voice, okay?
Dude. So he's like he works with troubled youths.
Okay.
And
he's got his own Scare 'em Straight program.
Hey,
motherfucker!
He made me think of. Do you remember with the motivational speaker that wanted to teach Cartman a lesson?
Oh yeah.
That's almost what he sounded like. It wasn't quite that high, but it's cartoonishly high pitched voice. And I'm just like, dude, they're gonna eat this motherfucker alive. And he's like, I really think my personality's gonna win people over, and I'll reach their hearts, and I can find out. And I'm like, dude, you're not gonna make the fucking no way. the night before they go in, the first fucking episode, the night before they go in the prison, he calls and he's like, you know what? This is a bad idea.
I don't think people like me that much.
And he drops out after talking shit. Like, all through the training, he's like, it's going to be hard, but, I'm going to do it because I need to reach these people and I want to blah, blah, blah. And as it's getting closer, he's like, well, I know it's going to be really hard, but, I guess I got to do it, And he fucking dropped out. I was so excited to see his little ass in prison to see what was going to happen to him. And he dropped out before it happened. Bro, I've been watching this show so much, I check people. I stare people down until I look away. I just take people's food from them all the time.
Just a certain dominance everywhere.
Just an alpha everywhere.
Dominating every situation I'm in. If an old man wants to park here, he can fucking find another spot. How about that? Get off my row machine, old man.
I'm going to be honest with you. Deep down in my heart, I hope that old man dies over the weekend so that I don't ever have to face him again at the YMCA.
We can't keep having people you get in beefs with dying. Like, that's not...
I can easily explain it. Everyone I get in beef with is old. I beef geriatric. I beef old, bro. That's what I do. Age ain't nothing but a number. I'll fuck you up no matter what, dude. I don't care. 60 Days In, it's on A&E, and it's the greatest fucking show. I learned a lot of stuff about prison. Like, I don't want to go.
Still don't want to go.
It's not.
They really don't sell it well. Like,
that's it's for real. That my worst fear would being locked inside of a place. Not like I've been in the military and I did well in it, so it's not the same, but it's sort of the same. And I feel like I could fit into a prison system and survive and be okay. Probably run it. I'd probably run the whole fucking place within a week or two. Probably.
Now you're talking yourself into it. All right. Okay.
As it's going, I'm like, I don't want to be there, but you know what? Actually, I'd probably be the fucking king. I'd kill everybody and run that motherfucker. I'll put heroin in my asshole to get it in there if that's what it takes. I don't care.
Okay, that's what kings do. That's king shit.
But bro, it's I don't. That dude hadn't seen what they walk out and like, oh, it's the first sun I've seen in 60 days. I'm like, man, they don't even get to go outside. And it's so funny because every single person after a couple of days in does the interview where they're like, jail fucking sucks, man.
Yeah, it's fucked up. Like,
why did I volunteer to be here? Like, yeah, why did you? It does suck. You didn't know that. You didn't know. I knew it was going to be hard, but like, it's really hard. Like, yeah. Yeah.
Because I always have to reference Chris Rock. He has a joke where he talks about like people saying that like prisons need to be tougher, and he's like, no, prisons are fucked up. Like they're not. Yeah, there's not. Yeah, they're not a good place. They're not soft at all.
Nah. And I tell you what though, sure I could run one if I ended up in there, but do I want to? No. Would I run it if I did? Probably.
Absolutely, I would.
They call me King Gerson, Little Prince Gerson. I wanted that dude to be in the whole season. I was like, I'm gonna see a murder on TV. There's no way they're not gonna eat this dude. Or so I'm gonna see him used as a fleshlight because he's so little.
Do they? So they start off. It's like these are the contestants this year. These are the people that are going in. Do they all go into the same prison at the same time, or are they like at different prisons, or are you watching multiple stories? Or
yes, they usually train them in. I think there's 6 or 8 people a season, and they train them in. They don't know each other's in the program, so they're all in the same jail, but in different pods, like different little. Like sections with a day room and then all the cells. They're in different ones and they don't know who else is in the program. So sometimes they find out the other guy is or not. So that's kind of interesting. But, I mean, dude, they're like, you know who they are and they're in jail and they give them these cover stories that aren't always really good. And like the first couple of seasons when they're still figuring it out, prisoners would see through the bullshit stories like instantly. And one dude got...
Oh, so they give him a background?
Oh, yeah. They give him a fake backstory. And they really work it out in the first couple seasons because, like, the stories don't hold up because they check them because they don't have anything but time on their hands. So they're just checking them. And then they had this one dude go in. His name was Tony. And he's in like 2 seasons because they just keep sending him back. And I think he's a sheriff in real life. This motherfucker goes into a jail and just becomes the king of the jail within like an hour. It's like he's running the fucking jail. He's smuggling drugs and then just turning them over. Like, it's fucking crazy. But the guards don't know that the people are contestants on a show. They think they're just filming a documentary.
Not even the guards know.
No. Only the main prison, like the sheriff that runs the prison knows. That way they can catch the guards being corrupt. And they catch a lot of dirty ass guards, which is kind of funny.
Man,
can't get enough.
That's interesting because then it's not even like that. Like you don't even have like a base you could go to if like if I just get around a guard, at least then I know I'm safe. Like no, you're in jail. Like that's legit. You're in jail.
They'll give them a distress signal, and like one of the scenes, it's like you put your hands behind your head like this and walk around in front of the camera. But like if somebody's about to kill you, they have to figure out a story for the production crew to come in and pull you out to not expose your cover. So they act like they're filming a documentary on the whole jail. Just a random documentary. And then they have to interview other inmates too to try to keep their cover. And it's really good, man. I can't get enough of it. I'm like 4 or 5 seasons in. I love it. But as the show goes on, they start putting, like every season is like cop, stay-at-home mom, blah, 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 liberal. You know, like they always try to get every different type of personality. But as the seasons go, they just start adding, like, a super fan. Like, this guy loves the show, so let's just put him in prison.
Okay.
Never works out. Not one time has it worked out.
Of course not.
The guy, like, one guy was like, yeah, I was in the army, so I think it'll be fine. And, like, 2 hours in, he's like, I'm out. I can't do this. It's so hard. I should have just stayed at home and watched it.
I just like the show. I should have just watched the show.
Yeah, dude, you could just sit at home at your house and watched it. None of this would happen.
Yeah, man.
But they always edit it. Because it's reality TV, so they edit it where they show somebody looking at somebody, and then it's like, I'm going to kill that motherfucker, just randomly over the background, so you're like, oh, shit! And then, since it's streaming, there is no commercial break, so then it cuts right back to that not happening, and you're like, God damn it! You motherfuckers! Because you know how they edit that around to where it looks like...
Oh, yeah.
Right before commercial break.
Make it look like they're standing next to each other.
Yeah, dude, fucking nothing. Not one person has killed anybody on that show yet.
What a fucking ripoff.
I've killed more people in this podcast than they've killed. Go ahead.
No.
This is a random short note. There's a store out here called Sacred Earth. I went and donated blood yesterday. I have O negative blood. They will pay me for it, so I charge them to take my blood.
Yeah, top dollar.
Now I like to donate because it always. The day after you donate, whenever you make new blood, I feel extra powerful and potent and virile and strong as fuck. But
like you can take over a prison.
Dude, that's exactly where I was going. The bag that they were putting my blood in, like, kind of slipped off the little thing and fell down. The girl that was taking my blood said, "Uh-oh." And I said, "What, is it eating through the bag? My blood's super potent. You're going to have to water it down with some weaker person's normal blood." And there was a guy next to me, and I almost went like this nerd, but I stopped myself right before I did it. But there's a store right next to the blood center, and it's called Sacred Earth, and they have this giant banner that they had made and hung up that says, "We aren't scared," and it has a picture of a mask. But the mask, like this, I didn't get a picture of it. I wish I would have, Chase. It's a regular mask. But the straps of the mask are curled up into a devil horn.
Man, people just want to be attacked.
And it's in Mandeville, and it's like some crystal shop or something. So it's like some rich lawyer or doctor out here's asshole hippie wife who wanted to open up a rock shop.
Don't believe these masks. Believe these rocks, okay? Right? That's where it's at, okay? This mask stuff, they're just trying to get in your head with all this mask stuff. But you know what you need? A crystal in your left pocket. That's what you need.
They just want your money. I want to sell you CBD oil and these crystals that purify your soul. That's what I want to do. I don't know why. But
I don't know why the devil wants you to cover your face.
I love to think that they came up with that design, found a place to make it, it's the whole Matt Lauer's death situation all over again. from earlier in the podcast. I really wish I had gone with Matt Damon. I should have said Matt Damon.
You always go with Matt Damon.
I'm going to live with regret of this for the rest of my podcasting career that I said Matt Lauer. And I know you fucks aren't ever going to let me forget it.
You also said he hosted The Tonight Show. It was, I mean, coming out the gate.
It was not a good, look.
It was tough.
You know what? It was not. What did he host? The Today Show. It's the Today Show. Yeah. Well, fuck Matt Lauer. He doesn't host anything now.
That's right. You want to hear our reviews for last week?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Okay. Our the Buckets of Duckets reviewer, Joey Wheeler.
Oh, shit. I haven't. Okay. Every other time I've read them before. I didn't know. I haven't read this. I didn't know he had commented on this one.
He was in. So if you remember correctly, last week you threatened to end his entire bloodline.
That doesn't sound like me. I don't.
I didn't think. I read it and I was like, I don't know. That doesn't seem
Josh?
like my sweet angel Josh. That doesn't sound
Where's
like.
Where's that at the YMCA?
Precious baby Josh. That doesn't seem right.
That seems like something that might have been said in jest,
possibly.
Hypothetically, allegedly.
So he starts off. It's the emoji with the big eyes, the shocked eyes, and a bunch of dots, and then he goes, "All right, I'm as fired up," but he doesn't say fired. He uses the fire emoji. So I'm as fire emoji up as I can be right now. This Josh character has pushed me to my limits. While this fool withers and decays with his Braun Stroganoff looking ass, which I didn't. So now he's a wrestling fan because I think that's the first Strowman reference he made.
Braun Stroganoff is pretty good. That's actually pretty good.
We've established this kid is fucking hilarious. This kid is great.
That's pretty good.
So yeah, I'll be here comes bro. He's fucking training. I'll be working my body to its peak physical condition. Every moment I spend honing this weapon that is my body, you'll be one step closer to death. In my bloodline, all caps. You can't even end a proper sentence. You're not on my dad's level. Loud, screaming at you. Sorry, Chase, I'm sorry, but you're not even prettier than my pug Roxy. Because look, first off, we both know that's a lie, Joey. We all know that. And if that's not true, that's a handsome ass pug you got. Look, pugs are cute, okay?
Pugs are adorable.
I used to have one myself, okay? So I'm not as offended as you said. And also, I can't hear you through how pretty I am. So, Chase, I'm sorry, but you're not even prettier than my pug Roxy. Josh, you should start wearing makeup because you're an overinflated balloon clown. me and my best friends are going to make a better podcast soon, and we're going to take y'all out. We got a challenger, bro. We got a challenger. Like we ain't took out Dead Cell Comedy. Yeah. Like we ain't took out the Deadbeats of comedy. Go
listen to Alan and Dan's podcast.
Fucking find them. Go find them. All right.
Go find their second podcast they start.
I'd link to it, but wait.
Guess
okay.
What? You don't ever fight Chase or Josh. You always fight Chase and Josh, motherfuckers.
That's right. That's right. Ain't no one-on-one. All right, ain't no one-on-one.
Y'all soft as baby shit.
Y'all soft as baby shit up in here. I don't care if you lost your whole family. You soft as baby shit. Soft as Charmin in this motherfucker. 10 out of 10. We got a 10 out of 10 on the episode, right. So he still enjoyed the episode. You got a 4 out of 10. I got a 7 out of 10, and Joey gave himself a 10 out of 10, and then said, "Smell you later, losers." So, I mean, this kid is phenomenal.
If this is really a kid, I hope that he will let me adopt him. I don't even know. This is beautiful. I don't even know what to say.
I'll marry your dad, Joey. Let's do this, man. Me and your pops will just raise you together. It'd be a whole thing, man. So we thought it was Matt. We thought last week it was our buddy Matt Brown. That threw me off the scent a little, Matt Brown. That's not quite a Matt Brown type.
Matt Brown wouldn't make a wrestling pull that deep. Also, I angered Matt Brown this week. I meant to tell you that. I made him mad.
Oh, did you?
So a guy down the street was giving away some kind of furniture, and my wife wanted us to go get it. It didn't fall out. It didn't fall out of the car, and I didn't smash it.
Okay.
Safely transported it home. But he was talking about how he had to get rid of all this stuff because he was moving out. And bro, I don't give a fuck. I saw a wrestling truck, and I was like, "Do you have toys that you're trying to get rid of?" Because I collect or any kind of weights or anything. So I got a whole bunch of those old sand-filled weights and bars. I got all kinds of stuff down in the garage now from this dude. And he gave me some Star Wars guns and a couple of planes. And I don't know dick about Star Wars. I know it's in space. Like, I've seen it. I think most of them.
I know it's in space.
But like,
I know it's like a robot or some type of like, I don't know, man.
Now look, I love the Mandalorian. I got 3 of them right there. But I don't know a lot about Star Wars. So it was like these blaster rifles or cannons or whatever. And see, I don't know what to call them. So I took a picture and I messaged Matt Brown, who is a walking encyclopedia of Star Wars. And I was like, "Hey, what are these?" And then he sent back a serial number and like their RTG-4000s that were sent from, that were mainly issued out to military droids on the separatist army on this planet. And I was like, I just meant like, these are Star Wars, right?
These are some Star Wars stuff, huh?
And then he sent me a picture of Hulk Hogan. And he goes, "Hey, who's this guy in this your favorite wrestler, Hank Hogan? That's what you just did to me, you motherfucker." And then, no shit, for the rest of the day, he would send me insulting questions about wrestling. What's that wrestler you like's favorite move? What's his name? Hank Hogan? What's his finisher? The hanky leg? And I'm like, all right, man.
Okay, man.
You got me.
What's it, Macho Man Sandy Savage? Is that who it is? Is that
Macho Man Sandy Random, isn't that her name? But so the Braun Stroganoff reference, which is great. I
mean,
that's really good.
I mean, this poor kid. I mean, I'm sorry whenever we actually see you, but I mean, you're at least making us laugh before we take you out.
I'm definitely gonna beat the shit out of you when I see you. For real. I'm gonna physically hurt you. But
yeah.
It's been fun. It's been fun. You know, like how a cat will slap around a mouse before it eats it.
Yeah,
that's what we're doing right now. We're just
that's
having
what's going on right now. I'm just enjoying it, man. Just sometimes you want to play before you eat. You know what I'm saying? I like to play with my food.
Though, if we ever did like a Nick Jr. kids version of Buckets of Duckets, I might let Joey be a co-host of it.
Buckets of Duckets Jr. Yeah.
Dude, you could probably, if we could get that on the Noggin app or YouTube Kids. Braun Stroganoff is so fucking good. I can't stop chuckling about it. Stroganoff is like a big thing in my childhood. Like, it was one of our favorite meals growing up, and it's still one of my favorites. So that really hit home. Well done, Joey. I'm sorry that your whole family's gonna have to end now.
I'm sorry about your family, buddy. But man, keep threading that gold, though, bro.
God damn.
All right, man. You got anything else? You ready to get out of here? Get out of here, man.
So I've been eating rice with every meal nonstop, and I've been using a pressure cooker, and it drives me fucking crazy because if you don't get the lid exactly on right, or you don't get the pressure valve exactly on right, it'll leak and then your rice burns. And I was like, well, this was so much easier than cooking rice in a pot. What do I do now? Chase, turns out, are you ready for this?
I don't know.
There's a fucking machine that's just called a rice cooker.
Oh, we talked about this. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about this yet. I thought the pressure cooker was a rice cooker.
Oh, that was not, you were calling it a rice cooker. It was not.
It's a pressure cooker. Has like 30 buttons on front, but one of them is white rice. You press it, boom, it cooks the rice. But when the lid's not on right or rice gets in it, it doesn't seal, it never makes pressure, it'll burn your rice. Chase, a fucking rice cooker? $20. You pour rice and chicken broth into it because you don't use water unless you're a homemade. Then you can use water in your rice. But I use chicken broth. You put a lid on it. There's literally one button. You push that button down, and the light says cook. And then when that button pops up and that light goes to warm, that means you eat it. It's so fucking easy. I do it every day 8 times, and it hasn't blown up in our face once.
Amazing.
It's the most beautiful thing ever.
Our buddy Grant Fletcher, a couple episodes ago, when you talked about it, I don't know if you saw his comment, but he commented on the YouTube page. Which, by the way, guys, keep doing that. We we may not comment back. We'll probably just like it, but I mean, we'll talk about you on here. So we don't know this Joey kid, and we've got 3 episodes out of him. So keep fucking doing it. But yeah, he said you can also make cheesecake in a rice cooker. Did you see when he commented that?
I saw that.
What?
I did see that. I don't like cheesecake. Cheesecake is the one. Yeah, cheesecake is one of the sweets I don't like. Like Michelle loves cheesecake. It is one of the few sweets that's totally safe in this house. I'll never eat it. I don't like cheesecake. Whoa,
dude, I love cheesecake. Strawberries on it, bro.
I'm sure there's good cheesecake, and I think I've had a lime cheesecake that was okay, or cheesecake. I'll never pick a cheesecake. I usually don't want to try it. It's just not my thing. Don't like cheesecake at all.
I'm about to order a cheesecake.
Don't ever mention cheesecake to me again,
I'm so disgusted with what you just said. No, next episode, I'm starting eating a cheesecake. That's how this goes.
I love carrot cake, so don't listen to me. I don't know shit about nothing. Don't listen to me. I eat carrot cake, over there? Yeah, I don't know. I don't
even like the combination of those 2 words. I don't want to put a carrot in my cake. Get out of here.
I want my birthday cake to be carrot cake every time. Every fucking
I think we have to end the show right now. I think it's time to go. Guys, thank y'all so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe on any podcast platform you may be listening to, on YouTube as well. Right above Josh's finger, if you click right there, you can it'll send it right to your grandma. You can let your whole family know that this show's going on. Do that. One more. Let's get another 5-star review. Morgan, you only half count, but we appreciate you doing it. But it's not the same. We want a stranger to do it. So hey, all you strange fucks out there that listen to this every week, you do it. 5-star review if you're an Apple Podcast listener. Thank y'all so much for the support we've been getting as a podcast. We've been getting our numbers have been going up a lot on the podcast.
It's been great.
So
yeah, thank you very much. Joey, keep telling your friends about us bullying you, because apparently they're listening and loving it, because you don't have any real friends in your life, or love, or strength. Joey, look at this. Look at this, Joey. This is a brand new 30-pound dumbbell that I just bought, Joey.
It was right there.
Fucking look at this. It was
right there for us to pick up.
Guess what, Joey? Guess what, Joey? A fucking number right there, Joey. You know what these are?
Both of them.
Joey, these are fucking shoulder presses, Joey. What's your dad doing right now, Joey? Is he doing shoulder presses? Joey,
no.
What's your dad doing, Joey? Joey, is your dad sleeping, or is he doing shoulder presses right now? Which one?
We know. We know the answer, Joey. We know the answer. All right, everybody. Bye.